Everybody good? All right. Questions for Grant?
Grant, I think you are the first returning player we've talked to since the coaching change. So just how different is it in the spring?
It's a lot different. It's a lot different coaching styles for sure. Coach Stein coming from Oregon, so our practices are a lot like higher pace, no breaks. Unlike the last coaching staff, we had no breaks, but this was a lot more higher pace, and I feel like it's a lot more competition. You know what I'm saying? Right before every team drill, we'll play like a little theme song, get everybody hyped, and pep talk. It's real physical out there, so it's a great practice.
We've heard a lot about this no depth chart thing this spring. How different just of an approach is that for you guys? Just like mixing up the teams every week.
It's a lot different. Playing with different guys who communicate different. Some people playing with a guy like Ty Bryant who knows his stuff, and he's really how do I say this? Like, he speaks out a lot, and then we got some who've never been in that position before and are a little more silent. So just getting to play with both, seeing who mixes together better and who makes the team a lot better when they're playing together. So.
Grant, how's it feel to be kind of the old guy in the linebacker room now? Are the coaches asking you maybe to, kind of fill in a leadership kind of position since you've been, in college football a while?
It feels amazing, to be honest, to go out there and be able to help, some young guys who haven't played yet and lead. Even at the end of last year, I got to, start a few games, but, just taking that role as an older guy and leading and talking to some guys about, playing in an environment where you can't hear anything. So I feel like it's amazing. So.
What's easier for you now than say when you first came out and went through a spring practice?
What's easier is just the understanding now. I understand a lot more that I've been in a higher paced game, and so just play recognition comes a lot easier. That I feel like the easiest, and then the pace of the game just slowed down for me a lot, so I understand a lot more.
Grant, why did you want to come back? I mean, with the coaching change, a lot of guys leave, a lot of guys follow coaches other places. What made you want to come back?
Definitely getting the new coaches in. Coming back, it was a little breathtaking that the change happened. But Coach Bateman coming in, a linebacker guru, who's gonna after this year I think send 13 linebackers to the NFL. Just seeing him come in and Coach Wilt, that made me stay. Hearing Coach Bateman talk about he sent so many guys to the league, and I can be one of them. He sees my potential and just getting my craft better. That made me stay for sure.
What is it about Coach Bateman? What is he like on the practice field? Is he a nice guy? Is he a little tough on you guys?
He flips the switch. He flips the switch for sure. He can be a nice guy. Make a big play. He's a jolly guy, nice guy, but he messed up. Like, he flips the switch. But everything he does is intentional. It makes us a lot better. We're a young linebacker room, but man, we're already getting a lot better. So.
I think his defense will probably look a little bit different than what we're used to with Coach White last year with his 3-3-5. So what are you maybe expecting from Coach Bateman's defense? A little bit less linebackers out there, so.
Yeah, a little less linebackers, but getting after the quarterback. We're going to get after that quarterback for sure. Third downs, I think Texas A&M, when he was D coordinator, was number one in third down stops. So just that coming here, getting off the field and being able to rush and trusting our DBs to make big-time plays, so.
What's your impressions of Bo Barnes and Tavian Wallace, getting to work with them early, and what have you seen from them?
Tavion, he's a great athlete. He's sitting 240, but he's flying. He's really, really fast. And Bo's he's a talker, and he makes a lot of big plays too. I feel like he can read the defense, read the offense a lot better. But that's the big difference. I think Tavion is just athletic freak like his brother Trevin. Brother both crazy, but.
Which one's faster?
Who?
Which one's faster, Trevor or Tavion?
I think Trevor's faster. Trevor was crazy. Tavion's he's still a redshirt freshman, so he got a chance to get there. But I always say Trevor here. I always say Trevor's the most athletic linebacker I've ever seen. So.
You talked about Coach Bateman at Texas A&M having those third down stops. You've been on some teams where you've gotten some big third down stops. You've been on some teams where you've given up maybe some big third down plays. So maybe it's a bad word for some people that talk about sports, but with momentum, how important is that, not missing those opportunities and taking those to it?
For sure with momentum, again, on the opposite side, we got to put some points on the board. It got to a point where we were just trying to just outlast the team. Right? You know, Coach White, our defense, we were still, you know, an amazing defense. But, like, it got to a point where we're not putting any points on the board now. With Coach Stein and Coach Sloan coming in, I feel like we're going to put a lot of points on the board. Our offense is already looking crazy out there. That's the best offense I've probably seen. But, you know, I feel like if we put points on the board, get that momentum, get Kroger Field all lit up, we're going to get the stops we need. So I feel like momentum's everything, you know.
Back to Elijah and Tavion. Obviously, very young guys, only been in college less than a year. But next fall, if they had to get into the game, why would they be ready to make some plays?
Their confidence. I think they're both really confident in, like, what they do. And Coach Bateman, he's going to get us right in 6 months or so. So, I mean, we're both, like, they're both really confident. We have a real, like I said, young core. But with a linebacker guru like Coach Bateman and, you know, Coach Wilt helping us, I feel like they'll be able to get it down. You know, the first few snaps are always crazy, but, you know, after the first 2 drives, you're getting it. You're calming down, getting calm, cool, collected, and after that, you play with confidence, make big-time plays. So,
You mentioned the coaching style is different from this group and last year. Can you think of an example of something that's just been different right off the bat with coaching style?
definitely, like, the practice pace. Last year, we had, like, 3 breaks during practice, and it was, like, the same length. This year is nonstop. Like, here, boom, 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 the whole practice, no breaks. And I feel like we didn't do a lot of, like, contact last year. Maybe due to injuries. I don't know what the deal was, but this year it's a lot more, like, physical. But I feel like those are the 2 differences, for sure.
Grant, you've got a bunch of guys that played on the team last year on defense with you back, you know, on the defensive line with Humphrey Grace and Ty and
Tavion,
all those guys. How much has that helped you all, just having those guys you worked with before making this transition to a new coaching staff, to a new winter workout program, to a new practice? Has that helped y'all maybe
Oh,
work
yeah,
together and
just
speed up?
just knowing dudes and being able to accept, like, all the new transfers into our groups. You know, it's like we've always been, like, a very funny team, very close. Like, me, Tavion, Gasson, Ty, we all came together. So
Yeah.
just accepting those dudes into our groups and just gelling, you know, extra study. And, you know, if we don't know, sending each other, like, what do you have on this certain play? And then I feel like our chemistry is very, very, like, we're a very, very close, like, bunch. So
Do you feel that cohesion you all have in that group is helping bring some of these new, like, you know, transfer guys that are coming in?
for sure, yeah, they come to us. You know, we're, you know, sitting in our group talking. They'll come maybe sit in and talk with us, and it's just enhances our team chemistry. So
You mentioned the offense has been really impressive. What gives you struggles when you go against those guys?
So today we did a lot of unbalanced stuff and tackle over and stuff, and they're just tempoing it. Tempo tackle over is hard to guard, especially, like, they run quick to unbalance, and just their tempo, you know, Coach Stein, he'll run up and tempo some stuff and tempo sometimes, and so it's a little fast, but, and then, you know, them being able to throw the ball deep, you know, I think Miller, 7 out there, he's going to be a monster this year, so y'all got to watch out for him for sure, but, yeah, it's going to be crazy.
Couple more. Everybody good? All righty.
Just the new strength staff that we got that came in, just being more intentional with, like, what I do in the weight room, and the nutrition staff that we have, and also just eating a consistent 4 times a day and drinking 2 protein shakes and just watching my weight and protein intake.
Yeah, what is maybe the biggest difference for us that don't know between the last strength staff and this strength staff? Like, what are you all doing differently?
I'll say the biggest difference, honestly, would just be the intentionality of the weights that we're doing, because the biggest difference that I say from last year's and this year is one focused more on, like, speed training, another one focused on strength. And I feel like both of them plays a big part, but you can't have one without the other. And I feel like they just do a great job of implementing both of them.
Antwan, for a guy who played last year but wasn't super proven, why did you want to come back with this new staff? What made you, like,
Honestly, I'm not the type of person, like, when something, like, some adversity hits, I'm just going to get up and leave. So I waited to see, like, who was going to come in, and Coach Bateman and Coach Wilt coming in. That just ultimately made me want to stay, because I know Bateman does a great job with his linebackers in the past and has put, like, 13 linebackers in the league and is going to put even more in. So just being able to trust his process, knowing that if I do what he tells me to do and go through that process, that I could be one of those linebackers.
what did you get out of what you did play last year? What
Honestly, it was a learning experience because it was a lot of good things I did and a lot of bad things, and I just learned because like from this year and last year, like it slowed down a lot. So just being able to look back at the mistakes I made last year and knowing that okay, you can't go about the process this way, and you got to be more intentional about what you do on and off the field.
Schematically, are they asking you to do different things in this defense than what you did in Coach White?
I mean, last year I played Will, and this year I played Mike, and Grant switched over to Buck. So that was a little different and getting used to, but I'm used to covering, so that's really nothing too crazy. And his linebackers blitz a lot, which is something I've always been used to since I've been in high school. So I wouldn't say it's really a challenge of getting used to. It's a different coach and a different playbook. So just learning that would be the biggest thing.
What's it like playing for Coach Bateman?
I love playing for him. Like, if you would look at him, you would think Coach Bateman probably mean, but he really a chill guy. But like Grant said, he does flip that switch. Like in the meeting room, it's just about just getting the corrections that we got. But if you do something on the field, he gonna get in your butt about it. So, but Coach Bateman really good dude and good coach.
Maybe it sounds a little obvious, but both you and Grant talked about Coach Bateman and had his experience putting linebackers in the league. Not that you've ever not respected any of your coaches. When one's coming in, how much more credibility does it give them when you can look to their past and say, hey, they clearly know exactly what I need to do?
It makes me trust my coaches a lot because even the old coach I had, Coach Mike, got a great history, great track record. So even him as well, like just knowing that all the coaches that I have been under, knowing that they got a lot of success in their past and in their future that's going to happen, just being able to trust them and knowing that they're going to put me in the best position to succeed.
No, you guys haven't been in like your full pads a whole lot yet this spring, but have you been able to feel the difference in your new weight?
Oh, for sure. Like just getting used to my body. Like even though I'm 225, I can still move. I still run 23 miles an hour easily, and just getting used to the new strength that I have, and it makes me play better because like having that weight, it allows you to move better, be more physical, and you're able to take on blocks and stuff like that, and not feel so much pain while doing it.
You've obviously been working on your body, but on the field, what are some things you're working on, some skills you're trying to hone through spring practice?
I would say my biggest thing that I want to that I'm trying to get better at is my tackling from last year. Because if you do see on some film, it is a lot of critical mistakes that I made, and just my tackling, then my movement. I would say those are two biggest things that I could work on, and those are the two biggest things that I am working on right now.
When people ask you what's the biggest difference with the coaching staffs, what do you tell them?
Honestly, I would say, like Grant said, just the intensity of practice and the intentionality that we have, like, it's way more fast-paced, and dealing with, like, a tempo-type team, stuff is going to be easier playing, like, other teams because since you're so used to fast-paced things in the game, it's going to be slower than what it is in practice. So I feel like that's really the biggest difference, but each coach has their own style, so I really wouldn't compare the two, but it is very different.
Very good. All right, thank you.